What better way to pass the time than to push your body to breaking point in the name of a good cause? It's 120 miles, 121 actually, according to your literature, Michael, from St James's Park, home of Newcastle United, back to Elland Road. So that's a long way, isn't it? That's like 4 3/4 marathons. So the why, first of all, is Gary Speed died by suicide in 2011. Male mental health and I think suicide was thrust into the public arena as a result of what happened there.
I really did enjoy the first day because it was quite short and there was lots of little stops along the way. I think we stopped at 3 or 4 pubs.
20 miles first day. And it was all through suburbia, so it was unsupported because you could just pop into shops.
And also everyone's got fresh legs.
Yeah.
Day one. No major repairs needed. But yeah, it was nice. You went through out of Newcastle, through a couple of little towns, through Durham, a couple of pub stops. It was nice. I tell you, who did do the walk? Nav.
Yes.
So the reason I joined was I unfortunately lost my brother. He was called Taron, and he unfortunately took his own life.
Can you tell us a bit about Taron then?
Yeah. So as I said, he was 26 years old, brilliant guy, really good looking, funny, and you would have heard the same story, like life and soul of the party, and the last person you would think that would do something like that. But unfortunately, I think a lot of pressure that we do have as men, to provide or to make money or whatever, unfortunately, he could see it and he got depression, which led to him, unfortunately, taking his own life. So that was the reason that I wanted to take part, to do it in my brother's name and really give myself a bit of a purpose as well. But just gave me something to work towards. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, this is something I want to be a part of and definitely want to do.
Day 2 was 25 miles from Durham Services to Scotch Corner Services.
Yeah, we've got to be the only people to ever walk to Scotch Corner Services to stay there for the night.
Right.
Because why would you? It's not a place designed to arrive on foot, is it? So that was pretty tough. Followed by 28 miles the next day.
Which is probably over 30 in the end.
Yeah, by the time you've gone around stuff and you never quite walk in the straight line you do on a map. There's always something to go around or roads to cross to avoid being hit by a car.
So day 3 was 28 miles, probably closer to 30, as you were saying. Yeah. So that was the proper, I mean, I hate the cliche of hump day, of Wednesday being a hump day, but that was proper, that was a real...
It was bloody hot as well.
Grind.
25 degrees for the most part.
I saw a lot of sad faces at the end of day 3. Andy's Man Club is a male suicide prevention charity which started in Halifax when Andy Roberts died by suicide, aged 23, and it was started in Andy's name because his family thought he would still be here if he had something like a resource like Andy's Man Club. Day 4 then was just a mere 26, it's only a marathon, 26 miles after doing 28 the day before. That, I think a lot of people, because the mileage lessened, people had underestimated it. There was a lot of casualties that day.
Yeah, it's just cumulative effect of these things. If anyone thinks it's just walking, I would urge you to do it. And no, don't do one day of it.
Do a week.
Do a few in a row, because your feet don't get smaller. Like, your feet just get progressively bigger as the week goes on.
There was somebody I was chatting to among the whole group who started out in a size 9. By the end of the week, they were in a size 11. They had to borrow somebody else's footwear. Went up 2 sizes. Well, but that's what it did for me in the first 2 years, is actually... Again, I got infected blisters because your feet swell and swell and swell and flatten, and my toes were tucking under, which was great fun. I think it happened to a few people. Because we ended up with stress fractures and infected toes, degloved toes, which casts quite the image in the mind.
People went through a lot.
Anybody who knows Lowfields Road, it's a long straight trek, so we could see everybody off in the distance, and they all started applauding. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, for me that was just the best moment, because you know what you've done and how far you've walked, and then you see your family there. It was amazing, and it was just like, well, yeah, you've completed it. We've done it.
Please do go to GarySpeedWalk.com, and if you can spare a couple of quid just to chuck into the pot, if you can afford it, we'd really appreciate it.